What's going on, YouTube? It's NCN, place to be chilling, Mr. Andy. Back to give you guys the Wednesday, the midweek wrestling war with my co-host, not Deion Sanders of Primetime.
What's up? What's up?
We are back. Obviously, we know it ain't the war, but we are reviewing the wrestling from this week, NXT 2.0 and AEW Dynamite Wild Card Wednesday, as they was calling this. We had two Joker matches for the Owen Hart qualifying tournament, and then an Owen Hart Memorial Tournament, what they want to call it. And AEW, they had some problems this week. Sorry, you gotta call them when they call it. And then NXT was they had some pretty good matches, to say the least, but other than that, nothing really kind of tracked and holded well for me. So might as well get into it. Once again, NXT 2.0 is going to be kind of quick here, because in the beginning, well, first off, I already know the wrestling week has been just loaded with a lot of news, stuff like that. And yes, we know about the Sasha and Naomi thing. We talked about it on our Raw review. There will be a detailed thing on the podcast this weekend because more stuff has come out. So before anybody starts putting stuff in the comments, because I've seen people do that in other people's videos as if we can't talk about something else. We can. You know, so all that stuff that y'all want me knowing about, stuff like that, and our opinions about the details and stuff like that, will be in the podcast this weekend. Yes, we will be doing the podcast this weekend because there's a lot to talk about. But we kick it off with the triple threat match between the tag team match between Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams taking on Solo Sikoa and Cameron Grimes.
You know, I meant to send you this this meme. Somebody said that somebody said that Trick Williams.
You Carmelo sent Hayes it to me.
Oh, I did? Okay.
You sent it to me 4 fucking o'clock in the morning, and you knew I was going to be pissed because I can't stand Moore's Day. And I woke up that morning, I was just like, what the fuck is this? And yes, you definitely sent me the Morris and Jerome. I didn't know if I said it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said shit. Mello Trick Williams is better. Now, if they had threw some random girl in the trash can or the dumpster, I probably would be like, all right, y'all get there. No. You ain't got to sing none of this shit. Keep that shit moving. So, yeah, tag team matchup here. Obviously, there's going to be some conflict between Solo Sikoa and Cameron Grimes. The match is actually pretty good. Trick Williams, yes, I understand this is developmental, stuff like that. He is having a little bit of trouble with, like, finding his spots in the match. So he just kind of looked like there was times in the match he did like a deer in the headlights, or just like a dog lost in the middle of the street. And I was just like, somebody guide him, help him out. But thank God for Carmelo Hayes. But Carmelo Hayes gets taken down by like a Uranagi slam by Solo Sikoa, and then gets the Uso splash, and then they win the matchup. So it was a good way to open up the show. One of the best matches of the night, in my personal opinion. Then he had the women's tournament, the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament, round 1. Lash Legend take on Tatum Paxley. Lash Legend wins this matchup. Nothing much he basically said here. Didn't see much of the Braun Breaker and Joe Gacy stuff like that, but you know, it's all this Joe Gacy and
Droid stuff. Is he still the Droid? The Droid
it's getting more and more every week. And it's just getting really stupid. So they're gonna have the matchup in your house, which is the next NXT special show that's coming up, and then it's one of those. But he makes a stipulation that if Braun Breaker, because he's so angry, he wants to destroy him. So if he gets disqualified, he loses the belt. I think that is one of the worst stipulations in wrestling matches. I get disqualified for kicking too much ass. I hate that rule. And when they apply it, to me, it's never good.
All right, question.
Okay.
Who actually lost the championship that way?
No, I can't. Honestly, within the current era, going back to all time I watch wrestling, I can't offhand remember anybody with that kind of stipulation lose a championship.
Oh, they're still active and they have a championship right now.
On NXT or in WWE?
No, in WWE.
Oh, is it? Was it Roman?
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. If you talk about WrestleMania 25, he didn't have the title.
No, he lost his championship to Christian. He kept beating him up. You don't remember that?
Oh, you talking about? Oh, you talking about the one that they had the Money in the Bank? I think it was.
And he spit in his face and he beat him up, and it was like, "Oh, you disqualified, so you lose the belt."
Yeah, lose the belt for kicking two. I hate that. So that is the most laziest thing, and I'm just like, why not? If y'all want to beat the shit out of a guy, just put him in a no holds barred match. I never like the storyline where you got to keep your cool because you're the champion and bullshit like that. Like to me, that stuff is stupid. It's stupid to me. But next up was another good tag team match with the Viking Raiders taking on the Creed brothers. And once again, it's great to see that with NXT that the Viking Raiders can go out there and actually do their thing, opposed to just jobbing or chasing the 24/7 championship on Monday Night Raw. So they was actually doing some good tag team work there, and they hit the double powerbomb for the win. And on Julius, and I thought it was a real good matchup here. Didn't see any much of the Grayson Waller and Tiffany Stratton stuff with the goddamn fantastic stuff in the back. Grayson Waller versus Andre Chase. Yes, this is a thing. But Grayson Waller picked up the win. Then we had another breakout tournament. Roxanne Perez taking on Kiana James in round one.
Scheming to stay.
Oh, sorry, I pushed the button by accident. So, I ain't trying to sound disrespectful or anything like that, but this tournament is boring me.
Well, I mean, because you don't know nobody in it. That's why they didn't like. It's not like
I didn't know anybody in the breakout tournament last year, and I was into that because I
knew like a few people though. Because it did not start out good.
I did not know who Carmelo Hayes was.
No.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I knew a little bit of Carmelo Hayes. Remember, Carmelo Hayes was like there for like 2 months before the tournament started. And he was just there doing good matches, just losing. I did not know who Odyssey Jones was. I didn't know who Andre Chase was part of that, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
but I'm saying in hindsight, you knew like at least 2 or 3 people in it, so it kind of helped you because you was like, okay. Because I remember the first like 2 rounds was not good, and then when they got to the finals, then it kind of heated up.
Well, it heated up between Odyssey and Carmella, but even in the women's, I know Lash Legend, I know Nikita Lyons.
You know Lash Legend, but is she a good wrestler?
She's getting better.
Okay.
I'll be honest. Was her match like to die for? Like, oh, let me go tell Prime about this match. No, I'm just saying. But she compared to when she first, because remember she had like the worst match of the year on 205 Live, and I was just like, oh, they probably gonna fire her the next day. But then after that, she has been, doing a lot better in the matches.
Yeah.
So Nathan Frazier versus Wesley, and I don't know what's going on with Wesley. It's like he's been getting his ass handed to him every single matchup.
I mean, he's a tag team guy.
Yeah, I know. Well, you already heard about they removing Nash Carter from 2K22, right?
I mean, we knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, but the replacement is terrible.
Who's the replacement?
Well, I'll tell you this: it's not a DLC character.
Is it Vince? Is it Road Dogg?
No, the Road Dogg's already in the game. They giving us 2 fucking My Faction cards.
Oh, just the cards?
Like they're giving us an Evo, Booker T, and Seth Rollins. I'm just like, I already got 3 Seth Rollinses already, and no disrespect to Booker T, he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, but I don't need an Evo Booker T, and to the point where he may have different attire that I won't be able to use because that will be locked behind my faction. So I'm gonna get more into that, in a different video. So, but it ends in no contest when Von Wagner comes out and destroys them both. Because
so I've seen this one guy. I don't know if it's this guy that you're talking about. He had an entrance, and it was like, and he was like in smoke, and like it was like a lightning strike came down. Is that not this guy?
What? Nathan Frazier?
Somebody had an entrance, and they came out, and it was like smoke, and it was like a lightning strike.
I don't remember. I don't. I'm trying to think. It could probably come to me. I don't remember that just yet.
All right, let me see if I can find it.
Main event: Santos Escobar takes on Tony D'Angelo.
Nathan Frazier. Sorry. Nathan Frazier is the guy that it's like a bunch of lightning and then it's a bunch of smoke, and he like runs out Paul London style.
Oh, I do like the Paul London run out. I ain't gonna lie on that one.
Okay, I'm gonna try to explain this to you. You know how the arena looks for NXT, right?
Yes, it's
there's
very
a lightning
slim.
bolt. There's a lightning bolt that goes across the arena on the arena screens. You know, like the ones that sitting above the crowd.
Yeah,
it's a lightning bolt that goes across them, and then it goes to the stage, and then it's the lightning bolt, and then he appears in like smoke, and then he runs to the ring like Paul London.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
it sounds pretty cool.
That's the only thing I seen from this guy. I didn't even know what his name was. I was like, oh, okay, cool, dope.
He was like, oh, finding new ways to attract me. I had no problem with that.
Yeah, but I didn't see his in-ring action or anything, so I don't know.
Okay, I'm guessing this is you sending it to me now.
Yes.
Okay, well, you know what? While we're here live on this review, I'm
3 reasons to ditch
this thing out, because why not? By the way, Santos Escobar does win by using brass knucks, but Legado del Fantasma has taken Tony D'Angelo's crowbar. And I'm like, damn, Tony D'Angelo been eating up losses, bro.
Yeah, that's why I dropped him.
Yeah. Whoa, okay. Look at the... Oh, that's dope. That's damn. They waste all the show. Nathan Frazier? I'm about to say, yo, that is like... You could do a WrestleMania type interest with that. You know what I'm saying? That right there was
somebody gonna steal it.
I'm saying that's very creative. I'm just like, that's not. I mean, that I ain't gonna lie. Look, even Grace Wild was like, that's a good entrance.
Yeah, I would definitely steal that.
I would definitely do it too. I mean, like, but I'm sorry that. It's wrong to say. You shouldn't, who choose to use it on, but I'm just like, that's not the guy I would think that, this guy needs his entrance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the kind of stuff I mean, right there. But, so that was NXT 2.0. But now it's time to go over to AEW Dynamite. It is Wednesday, and you do know what that means. I know JR was on one tonight. I forgot what he said. I tuned him out
today.
What'd you say?
I tuned him out.
You told him out today?
Yep.
There was something he said at the beginning. Oh. Did you... Okay, well, we will get to it, obviously. So, we got a full card ahead of us. And this week was not as crisp and great as last week. I saw it was still entertaining Dynamite, but it had some problems to it, and we'll get to them. We kick off the show with the Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament quarterfinals. Samoa Joe taking on the Joker, and the Joker comes out. Now, Tony Khan did this one thing again because they had Johnny Elite came up on the screen. And naturally, everybody was like, well, we thought it was Johnny Gargano because, Johnny wrestling, so he'll probably go be Johnny Elite. But then it wasn't that Johnny. It was the other Johnny with all the names, from Johnny Nitro to Johnny Mundo to John Morrison to Johnny Drip Drip to Johnny Impact. So
he went to I don't know if you know what GCW is.
I do know what GCW is, yes.
He went to GCW, and his GCW name is Johnny Game Changer. That's my favorite one.
Johnny Game Changer.
That's my favorite one, man. Yes.
So he's been all over. So now the crowd naturally got excited because I wasn't expecting that. I honestly, I didn't know how I was going to expect Cesaro, which I probably didn't really think so. But I was like, well, I didn't know it was going to be Gargano. So I didn't know what it was going to be.
I know to a lot of people that's disappointing because who they were expecting.
I'm not disappointed.
We're not disappointed, but you know what I mean. Like it was like, oh, this is going to be Gargano or Cesaro. I like that it was a genuine surprise because they wasn't expecting who it was.
Exactly.
Even though it's not who they expected, it's still a good name. Like this ain't like Kurt Hawkins coming out here. Nothing
yeah,
like
exactly.
That.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm always going to defend the side of wrestling that gives me legitimate surprises.
Yeah,
I'm always going to defend
that are still good though. I would say that
are still good, and as a name, but he is a little bit rusty. I don't know. A lot of it, I don't know if him and Joe don't have a chemistry, but there was a little bit of rust, I'm guessing, but it wasn't too bad. JR talking about some. Joe is this young man is coming in here and giving it his all. This young man who's 42 years old, who's been wrestling for 22 years.
Both of these men in their 40s. What young man are you talking about?
Exactly. This man has been wrestling for 22 years. And the man is 42 years. I mean, he looks great for 42, but even for 42 years, and you talk about something this young. I was watching. I was just like, Prime is just kicking shit over right there. Every time I hear JR do a botch or mess up, or whatever the case may be, I'm just like, Prime is somewhere, and be like, why does this man still have a job at All Elite Wrestling?
I can understand if he's like a backstage talent, cool, but on the air, nah, I don't think he needs to be on the air.
And you warned me about JR because you used to watch JR in New Japan, and I remember that one. What was it? That one Wrestle Kingdom he did. He got everybody's name wrong. Like they had to call him out on it.
Everybody's name wrong. This is Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke is going up against Tanahashi. Oh, these names are just messing me up. Yeah.
Joe hits chops. Joe does a running shoulder block that Morrison sells or Elite sells great, where just like spinning like five times. He tries to go for a top. I forgot what top move he tries to
450.
Do. The 450. Okay, but there was one top rope that he was doing where he was trying to go for an elbow, I think it was, and you could see him telling Joe to get in position. And I was like, hey, cameraman, you kind of want to get off Johnny so the people at home don't see all that shit. But okay, to work on your production. But the 450, Joe was obviously too far away. This is the second time he did it. I mean, the second time that he was doing top rope move. So when he did the 450, he landed on his knees. And I was like, that looked like one, like
I don't know why he didn't go for his little elbow move right there. Cause that's the part I would have went for the elbow because it just gives you more momentum. But
But I was like, I don't know because he could be having a little rust since he's been released. He ain't wrestling in like 3-4 months. Actually, 4 months. And like I said, or it could be a thing where him and Joe necessarily don't have that much chemistry. I don't remember a time that Morrison went up against Joe or went up with him a lot, even though they was in the same company for a good amount of time. But I honestly don't remember that.
But then again, I don't think he don't have to be necessarily rusty. But the moves that he does, you can't just come back and do them after you ain't doing it for 4 months. So that's what part of it is too.
I do agree. He tries to go for the Starship Pain, but then Joe gets the knees up and hits him with the Muscle Buster. The very safe one this time because he makes sure you don't want to bet with somebody else. And Samoa Joe wins. And then before he gets to celebrate, Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt come out with people called the Great Khali, was it Negative 1.0 or whatever they were calling them, or what Satnam Singh comes out and they come there and they beat Joe. And then they hit him with like a lead pipe. Then best friends. Huh?
I was gonna say honestly, I thought that if the Joker was gonna be more of a prominent figure, that Saddam Singh would come out and cheat Joe out of the match so that he can do whatever he do with Saddam Singh, and then the Joker can go on and win.
Yeah.
But, we just had Joe win. That's cool too.
Yeah, that's the best friends come down, run with steel chairs, and Lethal and Dunt and St. Flee the ring. So, they give a recap of Darby Allin taking on Jeff Hardy, and then they had a whole segment with the Hardys and the Bucks, and Matt said they don't have to do this anymore. And have you thought about taking a night off? You just show your former self, those kind of things. And Cole isn't the only member of the Undisputed Elite who will get the ass whipped. So that kind of stuff like that. Cult of Personality plays, and CM Punk is making his way to the ring because he's gonna watch Hangman's match, like Hangman watch his match. CM Punk, this guy, comes out and it's been making the rounds with a shirt that says abortion rights are human rights in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like,
he did the same thing last time they was in Texas.
I missed what he did. What else did he do in Texas?
Same thing, basically. Same shirt, just one with ovaries and one didn't.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh my God! I was just like, he don't. First of all, he gonna speak his mind regardless. I'm saying, but he don't care. I was just like, oh yeah, he know he gonna put it on in Texas. Sheesh.
So what they gonna do to him?
They ain't gonna do shit though at all.
All right then. Like, they ain't gonna do nothing to CM Punk.
No,
physically.
Oh no. First of all, I'm not condemning him. I'm not telling him he shouldn't have worn it. I'm talking
about the people. Like the people, because I seen some people was like, "Oh, he shouldn't have worn that in Texas because they gonna get him." I'm like, "What? Really? You think people are out to get?" Come on, man.
I mean, well, there are crazy people out there that talk about, they can get him or leave politics out of wrestling. I'm just like,
I want you to go into that AEW locker room talking about I'm looking for CM Punk. Yeah, all right, okay.
Your ass,
all right, Warlow come out that door like, what you want, player? What you need, player? Well, oh, never mind, I'm good.
Yeah, we had with the handcuffs still on. You know what I'm saying? But so it's Hangman Page take on Please. Help me with the name because I'm
Takeshita.
Okay, yeah. Who is pretty good.
Yeah, he's good. He's not a big name in New Japan just yet. He's still like, he's not a young person, but he's not a main event person.
So is he like on the Montez Ford level of popularity in New Japan? Like
he's
popular. He's a very athletic wrestler, but he's not the main guy yet.
I don't think he would ever be the main guy.
Okay.
Not to be mean, but that's just how New Japan is set up. But they don't make people like that the main guy.
Okay.
Unless he gains a lot of weight, then yeah.
Well,
Hangman
had a really, really good matchup, and I understand. I don't know if they were pressed for time in this matchup, but there were a lot of big moves that were awesome that I felt as though that they didn't sell.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand how people like the moves and stuff like that. I mean, it was the forearms, there was the moves up to the outside, but when they got to like the top rope. And did this guy Takeshita, he does like a lariat that turns Hangman inside out from the top, and they both on the top rope. And I'm like, oh snap, that was dope. But Hangman gets right back up, and I'm like, I get what you're trying to go for, stuff like that here. Because there was one point Heyman was about to go for the buckshot lariat, but then he hesitated and paused and looked right at CM Punk because what was coming. Because he was going to win with the go to sleep anyway. And then
I feel like Takeshita was the wrong person to do this like move for move match on, but
do you have the same reasons that I have or something different?
No, I'm just saying like because last week Punk went against John Silver, and it kind of makes sense for him to finish the match with a finisher that's not his.
Yeah.
But Takeshita is a formal opponent to not hit your finishers to win somebody else's. I just would have picked somebody different.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't put like Chip Sabian or somebody here. I don't know.
Oh, damn! What happened to Kip Sabian?
He's still there.
He probably on this dart all night, right? Cause
No, he I don't know what his character is, but he sits in the crowd.
I'm about to say, because
the whole night
after Miro, Kip Sabian is just nothing there.
He sits in the crowd the whole night.
Wow.
Like, there's been parts where I went to different AEW shows and he's just sitting there, and I'm like, all right. Okay. He has a box on his head or something like that. Like I don't know if you know who Mushroom is or whatever the guy's name is, but he has he sits with a box on his head for the whole night at the show. Weird.
Okay. Takeshita hits a last ride, and that covers for 2. Then he goes and hits a running knee on him, and that's another 2. Then he gives him with that nice like deadlift German suplex. Kind of hurts his neck a little bit. Page blocks the running knee again. Tries to hit the forearm, and then Takeshita hits a clothesline, but then Page kind of like just pops right back up from that lariat, and then gets a buckshot lariat, and then Takeshita just gets up, which I understand is to get up and to fall into the GTS, but he stares at CM Punk and hits the GTS, and that's it. And CM Punk throws down the headset and they stare. And then Paige leaves, and there's still huge CM Punk chant. So, I don't care about the Fuego del Sol and the Dark Order. You know I don't give a fuck about that. But Swerve Strickland comes out with Keith Lee, and they have a match against JD Drake and Anthony Henry. So we obviously know this is
the Workhorseman.
Huh?
The Workhorseman.
The Workhorse, gotcha. They hit I don't know if this is a new tactic finisher, but it looks dope with that powerbomb stomp.
Yeah, Fall from Glory.
Fall from Glory. Well, that joint looks dope. Keith Lee said that him and Strickland are now a top 5 ranked tag team, but then Hobbs and Starks come out, and this Starks calls Lee Rex from Toy Story. Saying that they are selfish, they don't deserve a shot at the tag titles. They beat them last week. Swerve says, Ricky Starks looks like a bar of soap. Jurassic Express come out, make their entrance. And Kristen says, shut the hell up. And then, let's see. Stark thinks that he's ready for a real championship. And Jurassic Express are the best, and they challenge both teams to a match of double nothing. So there was rumors of a triple threat matchup. Looks like we're actually going to get it now. So, and next week it'll be Jungle Boy.
Low key, I want Starks and Hobbs to win it.
So do I. So do I. Because I think Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks are putting in the work. Because right now, it got to go off with Jurassic Express, because that's when the Christian turn is going to happen. And then Keith Lee and Swerve, I don't want them as a tag team, but it would be better for them to chase it opposed to Hobbs and Ricky Starks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So that's just my thing. I didn't see the Tony Schiavone backstage with Chris Statlander and Red Velvet, or anything from the baddie section. So were they trying to get Chris Statlander to join the baddie section?
No, Chris Statlander is fighting Red Velvet.
Okay. MJF makes his entrance with Shawn Spears, and then, we're no longer in Long Island, and because we're in that nasty Texas, but everything's bigger in Texas. So then he calls for Wardlow. Wardlow is coming in with handcuffs. You hear the Wardlow sort of like the Goldberg entrance. He comes there, no shirt on. He's still handcuffed. 10 lashes. It's the same thing that Cody had to deal with before he got. Huh?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I didn't notice this until I seen somebody say it. But I think Tony Khan is just redoing everything that Cody did, just so they can put them in new clips.
Oh shit!
I'm so serious.
I didn't even think about that, because he got to do the cage with Shawn Spears also. Because the same thing Cody had to do, because Cody had to do the 10 lashes, then had to have a cage match with Wardlow.
But I'm talking about every spot that Cody did that you can use in a video package, they try to redo it. Like the Cody and Sami Guevara ladder spot, the cutter from the ladder.
Yeah.
They redid that already with Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, they did.
The cutter from the top. They redid Darby Allin doing the apron powerbomb and him missing with Jeff Hardy. They already redid a couple other things. So it's like, I feel like everything Cody did, they're like, do it again. We do it again. Live on Dynamite. So yeah. So this one was well done though.
Oh yeah, no. So MJF hits him and Wardlow just eating it. He was like, that was it. Okay, keep going.
To the point where MJF is getting mad.
Yeah, and he hits him again. And then MJF is getting mad, so he just goes in there like 3, 4, 5, 6. So Spirit has to pull away like, yo, you about to use up all your lashes. And Wardlow's just like sitting there like, fuck this. This ain't nothing.
And in real life though, I want to know how he did that because I know you got to release Stinging or something.
I know. I mean, I don't know if he was mind over matter. If they weren't really him, I don't know where the case is because you can see the marks on his back.
Yeah.
So he was eating them Jones. Spears took off his jacket and he whips Wardlow one time. Doesn't react. So now there's only 2 more strikes left. And then he whips him very hard the next time, and Wardlow felt that one. But he was like, all right, one more. So then MJF grabs him, he's about to do it, gives him a low blow, then just starts whipping him, mercilessly. And hits him with the diamond ring. Takes him out to Shawn Spears. He had to get his in. Goes and gets him with the Death Valley Driver or the C4. And they covers him for the 3 counts. MJF's going to be the referee. 1, 2, 3, and that's how the whole segment is. I thought it was a decent segment. I mean, obviously, this match is one to get a ton of heat, a double nothing to Wardlow and MJF matchup. So
it might get one of the biggest pops of the night of Wardlow's entrance. We don't know.
Honestly, I think it should be the opener.
It could be.
How about I say, if you're not gonna go on last, go on first.
Yeah, we'll see how they do it, but I do think this match will have a good amount of heat behind it.
Kyle O'Reilly, the next match is for the Owen Hart Men's Foundation. Kyle O'Reilly taking on Ray Phoenix, and I'm just like, oh, this is the match I was waiting for because this right here is about to be a good matchup, and it was. Like I said, I'm pulling for Kyle O'Reilly. I said Kyle O'Reilly was going to win. I honestly think they AEW may do their version of Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole, like NXT did.
Could. Oh no, not cool Kyle again.
No, that's what NXT did. NXT.
Well, spoiler alert, I think Adam Cole is winning because, and I don't like this, but the winner gets championships, not a trophy.
Oh wow.
So I don't know what the championship is called. I don't know if it's going to be called the Owen Championship or whatever. Which, to be honest with you, I would rather just have a trophy because then you're going to be introducing too many championships.
Yeah.
But I heard that the both winners get championships. So I don't know if they're going to be like championships that you defend or a championship that you just win, like how Braun won that Greatest Royal Rumble championship. I don't know, but. If there's a championship to be won, I think Adam Cole might be the one to win it.
Fair enough. I mean, I can't argue with it.
If there's a trophy, then yeah, anybody. But if there's a championship with it, then yeah, that makes sense.
You're right. But in the meantime, Kyle O'Reilly was sitting there going ahead with Ray Phoenix. They had a pretty good matchup, back and forth action. As you see, Ray Phoenix come in there and deal with the Dodge. I can never give it the proper amount of love it needs for me to talk about a Ray Phoenix matchup. But then we also have, I do like the spot where Ray Phoenix does his little 619, catches himself, and comes back and kicks Kyle O'Reilly in the head. And Kyle O'Reilly does his little Dean Ambrose and goes off the bottom rope and ricochets himself back in, and then clotheslines Ray Phoenix. So I thought that spot was dope. Also, strikes back and forth, and then O'Reilly goes and gets that Dragon Sleeper on Ray Phoenix, and then Phoenix comes out with the fish, strikes out of it and hits the Insecurity, and then Ray Phoenix walks a tightrope, walking to a hurricane run to the outside. Phoenix goes for a cutter. Colorado catches him in the arm bar, and then he locks the leg with the arm bar, and then Phoenix has to tap out. So Colorado advances. So that's good for me.
Let's go, Kyle.
Then we have the Chris Jericho, William Regal face to face, but even though they weren't face to face at all, so
it was a confrontation.
Yeah, confrontation. Yeah. So then of course we took the whole time at the beginning.
I'm gonna just tell you right now before you start reading this, I'm disappointed at how it ended, and it didn't end the way that I wanted it to, and they were so close. That's all I'm gonna say. They were this close, literally a smidge this close to doing what I wanted them to do. But keep going. You continue.
But you gotta let me know what it is, because
I'm gonna tell you when we get to it.
Jericho starts taking shots at Regal, talks about him and his drug days, and why anybody want to hang out with this guy, and because of all the stuff that he's been through. And then Jericho says, you gotta give me an answer, or I'll go take a pee in your teacup, which was a callback to their WrestleMania 17 rivalry when Jericho pissed in Regal's tea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he said you could have been one of the best. You ended up being a world class addict. So Regal comes up and tells him.
Regal took it. Regal made it weird. Man.
Say what?
Regal made it weird.
Yeah, he did. I was like, he talked about him going to his gym bag and getting the toothbrush and sticking up his bottom, and I was just like,
now if he would have just said I used it to like brush it or something, like just to rub it on there. Yeah, but he said he's put it in there. That's different. That's way different.
Yeah, I was like, Regal, obviously you don't know necessarily how to, I guess, bust or anything like that. So it wasn't coming off great at all. So let's make a long story short here, because Santana Ortiz said something, but I felt like Eddie Kingston here, and Eddie Kingston first of all, Jericho and them, what they said, y'all want to fight, so we're gonna challenge y'all to a fight. To the thing
real quick before we get to this. I just think it's funny how he was like, you know what Brian Danielson said about you, and he was like, you know what Eddie said about you. Eddie said that you're like what did he say? He was whatever. Eddie said that you were something. Dave Bryan was like, oh, okay, and Eddie was like, so you are, and keep going. What's the next thing we got to go? He is what I said he is. Let's go. Like,
exactly. I don't know. Yeah, move on. He ain't gonna cause no rift because I said what I said. Love Eddie Kingston, man. I love him. So he says, well, look, y'all want to fight, obviously, so we're going to do it in what WWE has made possible for the third annual stadium. Now, before he finished it, because at first I was about to text you, I had it in caps, like I called it, because I was like,
no, I know they weren't going to do that. Moxley ain't doing no stadium.
And he said, yeah, look, it was good for the time it was, so that we ain't doing no damn stadium stampede type stuff like that. So he said that at Double Nothing, it'll be a 5-on-5 in glorious violence. Pro wrestling versus sports entertainment.
You don't know how upset this made me. I was waiting on this. I was waiting on a certain thing, and I never got it. We were so close. All Regal had to do was say blood and guts. Like in the
That's
War
all.
Games.
Look, I was agreeing because I don't know the War Games, but I figured they wouldn't do that because that means they would have to have the two rings in Double or Nothing, and I don't think that they wanted to do that for that show because of what they had planned. I think Blood Guts is going to be a TV thing, kind of how it was last year.
We need to get to that because I definitely want Regal to say blood and guts.
Yeah, I want Regal to say that also. I'm honestly, I wouldn't mind it, but like I said, that you got to put the two rings up and have that.
Real quick. You know how upsetting it would be if they do have a blood and guts match and Regal is not the one to announce it?
Oh, I would have to slap Tony Khan. I had to slap him. I would have to be like, bro, you fucking up this week, bro.
Like, why even bring Regal in?
Is that he has to say blood and guts. That's what I thought he was going to say, but I was like, but usually the way this thing sets up, they usually have a stadium stampede at Double or Nothing, and then after that, I would say 2 or 3 weeks later, they will bring out the Blood and Guts as their special show, so they can do the whole double ring for that night. So that'll be they're like gimmick or special show for a Dynamite, so that to help boost the rating. I mean, well, I like that. I get the show too, but I don't think they want for all the matches that they have. I don't think they want the double ring.
Yeah.
So for all that, so that's what it was. Master Del Dante Martin says, you know, they're gonna have a match on Rampage. But next up, it's time for the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament. Dr. Brent Baker, DMD, taking on the Joker, and the Joker ends up being, help me out, Prime.
Maki Ito.
That's it.
Maki Ito.
Oh, Maki Ito. So here's the thing. Maki Ito has been there. She actually has history with Britt Baker back at Revolution 2021. And let me tell you how this. I forgot all of it. Okay? I didn't remember not a damn thing from there. So, I was like, okay. At first, when she came out, please forgive me. Okay? Don't everybody out there hate me. When she first came out, for like the first 2 seconds, I thought it was Hikaru Shida doing a gimmick. Like, no. Because she said she wasn't going to be in the tournament. And it's just like she came out there, but like, okay, I'm like somebody new. I'm Los Conquistador. And I'm just like, that would be fine. I was like, oh. And I was like, oh, so I am not familiar with this. Okay. So then her offense is more like a playful, big comfy couch type of wrestling type style. Like, it's kind of almost like the Orange Cassidy style where he just does the gimmick. Everything is slow. He wrestles with his hands in his pocket. He don't really care. This one, it's like she's like a little kid wrestling. Like, she's stomping on toes, trying to squish the toes in, and she make little cry faces, and then she looks all dazed and does little dumb,
Yeah, I think this was a bad spot because I like Maki Ito. I think this was the bad spot to put her in though. Like she's a good wrestler and all that, and her gimmick is like jokey, but they don't let her turn it up. But like, I think this was the bad spot to put her in, personally.
Yeah, I would agree because first of all, I think honestly when you mentioned the Jokers and you see that Britt Baker and Samoa Joe was going to be the ones facing the Jokers, it wasn't that much. No matter who they picked, that was going to be some really big name, and they was going to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
So Britt Baker wins with the submission, the lockjaw.
Lockjaw.
Yeah. So we get Tony Schiavone's in the ring, and next week is the 3-year anniversary of AEW. But as Serena Deeb interrupts, she says, "I'm sick of hearing Schiavone talk." And then she talks about, I heard Tony say Rosa, huh?
True.
Yeah, she said that. I heard you said the Thunder Rosa.
She should have came out and cut this promo on JR. I would have definitely loved that.
Oh, you would have. That would have been funny. But she come out to the man who always interviews everybody. She says, she says, "Savannah, you made yourself like a complete idiot." And then she said, "Where's Dustin Rhodes?" So Dustin comes out, of course, his makeup on. And then Serena D makes fun of the whole Texas sport teams. And he said, of course, they would cheer the poster boy of failure. He said, but I respect you, Dustin. But she gets no respect. But she put breast implants in her body for some old perverts. I'm like, oh, here come the McMahon shots. She shaved her head. I remember the shaved her hair thing. She still got no damn respect. And why can you say I couldn't beat Rosa? You don't have the balls to answer. And she said, when I become champion and beat Rosa, you will respect me. Well, then Rosa comes out, doesn't do much of anything. She goes and checks on Dustin, and then Serena Deeb hits her with the championship belt, and then walks away with the championship and holds it up. Yeah, it puts more heat on the thing. I like that. I wouldn't mind Serena Deeb winning, but I don't want Thunder Rosa's championship run to be so small.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she really defended the title yet, has she?
Twice.
See, that's right. She was on that TNT show that was the Battle of the Belts too. That was very forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then it seemed like it was like, okay, y'all forgot we had a main event, right? And they was like, oh snap, because it's 10:55, and y'all put on Adam Cole versus Jeff Hardy. This match was rushed, and they had a picture-in-picture commercial break within that 5 minutes.
Well, no, it didn't go. It didn't go off at. It didn't go off at.
They didn't have no run over.
Yes, they did.
Oh God, how much was the run over?
I think it was like 5 minutes. More like 5 or 7 minutes.
Even with the run over, this matchup was still short. I mean, they really got nothing going on. Jeff barely got a whisper in the wind going on, or insecurity.
I mean, Jeff Hardy his match last week was short. It was just a lot going on that you didn't notice.
No, but his match last week was about 10 minutes. That's a good standard TV match. Because
all Jeff Hardy matches lately have been like maybe 8 minutes or shorter, more like 5 minutes. They seem like 5 minutes sometimes.
Yeah, I understand that, but sometimes they can be a little longer. And this is a tournament, okay? This is a respected tournament, and you need to have some kind of good tournament qualifying match. I understand what y'all trying to set up for, but what y'all setting up for, y'all do not need Darby to lose that matchup. And y'all still got to work on your time placement, because whether it's the main event and whoever is in there, whoever side they wrestle, it really doesn't matter. They gotta go out there and compete, and they didn't have enough time to do that. Jeff misses the Swanton Bomb, and Cole hits the boom and covers for the 3, and then here comes Matt to come check on Jeff. But then here come the Young Bucks. Everybody go super kick the Hardys, but they said no, they ain't gonna do that. And then then they start attacking again, but then here comes Darby Allin and Sting. So the Sting is beating up, I don't know, one of the Young Bucks in the corner, and then
beating up Adam Cole.
Adam Cole in the corner, and then we get the infamous no-sell chair shot from Sting. And he no-sells a chair shot, but then
Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh yeah, bro, wasn't that great? He grabs the chair from Kyle O'Reilly because the Undisputed Elite come down, and he just throws at his head, and you just hear the bong bong. He just collapsed down to the ground. I thought that was great. It really was great. But then they, of
course, they double super kick Sting.
Yeah, double super kick Sting takes him down. And everything. Now they start beating up Sting.
So next week, well, never mind. I forgot.
No, well, I mean, I don't know if it's actually because they Pillmanized Sting's leg in the most safest way it looked possible.
I mean, I didn't. They should have made it They should have made it look different.
Yeah, real.
Like they should have put emphasis. No, not real. No, not real because I know it's Sting or whatever. But I'm saying like they could have did it like when everybody's looking at him and saying everybody's like, "Oh," it was just so much chaos where you didn't even notice it.
Okay, so you say they didn't put enough attention on it.
Yeah. Because usually if you put enough attention on it, even if it looked good or bad, you can tell like this is a big moment that we're trying to convey.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, damn right there.
And then they hit it. They hit everybody with the WCW. We're out of time. It's a craziness. I don't know what's going on. Bye. Total Schiavone was there in that era. He should have said we're out of time. But obviously that was his catchphrase in WCW.
It was, but obviously it wasn't clicking for him. But that's the end of our review. So, guys, what did you think of AEW Dynamite this week or NXT? Prime, what was the better show for you this week?
I'm going to say AEW, even though it's like not one of their best, it's still solid. It's still better than NXT in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. I'm going with AEW myself. Post that comments down below what show you think was better. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed our review. Hit the subscribe button for more wrestling content and wrestling podcasts right here on NC Studios. So once again, it's NC place to be. Joe Chambers saying D and not Deion saying for prime time.
All right, Joe.
All right, and the Nerd Coalition is out.